Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone's doing great. Today I'm going to be staging some range magazines with M193 clone loads that I got. I'll also be setting them up in the Magpul T-Mags and also maybe show some of the differences, at least ostensibly, physical differences between all the other magazines that one might come across in Stanag form. I will also be installing some of these SGIL plates in my OK Industries Surefeed, kind of to protect the base plates when I drop them. I've been starting to use these away from my Lancers recently in range trips. So I've been dropping them onto gravel and concrete, and not so much concrete, but just gravel, grass, and want to kind of protect the bottoms because these are not made anymore, and these are actually kind of rare. Also, I think considered to be pretty good mags. I also have some Duramag 20 rounders, which look cool in the Mark 12. They look the part, but they're not actually very good. They don't work very well in the 20 round configuration. The 30 round configuration seemed to work okay. There's less tilt in the follower, I think. So just to go quickly over what I do to prep my brass for quick reloading of magazines at the range. I usually go through 200 to 300 rounds each session. Some of it is just for LARPing purposes and quick shooting, and usually it's for actual training, trying to get better at this. So yeah, these have all been case gauged, so I know they're all good. They all have a primer in them. This load is a Vita Vori N133 and the Hornady Full Metal Jacket boat tail cantilever bullet, and I load these by the thousands. So far I've loaded 12,000 of them using the big Hornady flat pack 6,000 bullet count boxes. I've emptied 2 of those completely already, and these are the last 3,000 or 4,000 left. Not just in here, but I've got a 5-gallon bucket full, which I can't even lift. It's down here, and I'm not even gonna get a hernia trying to lift that thing. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to stage my mags, put the rest of them in stripper clip. I use mag lulas for loading my magazines via these thermold stripper clips. These are the plastic ones. I don't really like them very much. They don't fall free after using them with a spoon. I usually have a few of these traditional stripper clips, but after 2 or 3 uses, the little brass tabs break off. So I'm relegated to using these plastic ones, which I don't really like so much. So I'll do a few of them, and then I'll try the Magpul mags with the spoon, which I use Mag Lula. But stand by, let me get it out of my range bag real quick. I'll pause this and come back to it. All right. Okay, so I'm back. This is what I use to replenish my magazines at the range. This is a Mag Lula strip Lula, which uses stripper clips or individual rounds, just like so, attached to the magazine. The spoon adapter on the magazine, just like so. And then you feed 10 at a time. So this bag here is usually in my range bag, and I'll have about 200-300 rounds staged in here. So let me prep a few more. See how they run. So again, the whole premise of this video is just to see how, you know, the T-mags are gonna work in the rotation. So clearly it's Stanag, so the spoon or the strip lula fits in it just fine. And you know, you just do that, and then this falls out. That's 10 rounds. Let's do full mag. Not as easy as my Lancers, because the spring is new, or maybe the polymer feed lips are a little bit more resistant. So there you go, that's 30 rounds, and as intended, you have the last round on the right feeding. That way you can quickly glance at it that you either have 20 or you have 30 or 10 rounds if it's on the right, or at least every even round. Again, you've got the white painted spring coil, which will show you the magazine capacity. This is not chambered. Yeah, YouTube hates this, but I don't care. So when the rounds go up into the magazine, you will have the painted coil telling you it's at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. There are markings here, so that coil corresponds with the actual count. So that's pretty cool, other than the translucency, which makes it easy to see exactly how much they are outside the gun. Okay, so yeah, this is a loaded T-mag, and what it looks like. It is, somebody asked me on the unboxing one whether it's grippy or not, and in this direction there are ribs, ribbed for pleasure, I guess. But this is meant to be pulled out of a mag pouch, as so, and then you insert. Those of you that are going to pull like this can also pull just fine, because the digital ID provides a certain amount of texture that you can also do this. Alternatively, let me pull this up. Standard Magpul Ranger plates, I think they're called, will fit instead of the base plate. And I got some over here. Which is supposed to replace the base plate. But I think these are M2. Nope, they'll fit. So let's do that. I am gonna disassemble the mag. pushing on the button on the bottom. I'll hold this so it doesn't. Maybe have Gen M2. It's a possibility. Something I wasn't counting for, but looks like I have the wrong Ranger plates. And that's fine. So makes this a moot point. I'm not even going to try putting those on. So trying to get the follower button to actually engage. Okay, it's not quite in there yet, but I'll work on it. All right, so next thing is these L plates for the metal mags. I think these will work just fine on USGI steel or aluminum mags as well. So these replace the base plate on metallic mags. Let's see if I can do this without making a huge mess. So there we go. I have not done this type before. Not exactly sure in which orientation it goes, but it looks like it goes this way. So you have a spring retainer over which the plate goes. Okay. You have to really push down on this retainer on the spring. Now I've got it caught. All right, so these just slide in like that. And I believe that does it. So all it is a low profile rubber tab. Protects the base plates, and yeah, that's it. So I'll do that to the rest of them, and pre-stage a few more of these. See, that's why I don't like the plastic ones, because the actual stripper clip doesn't always come out properly. That one did. That way I can do this quickly at the range without needing to load them individually. Okay. Now, these are G-code Scorpion mag holders. They're pretty good. I like them. They adapt to different size magazines. I can even fit SR25 mags in them. And I have them in this G-code battle belt as well. Now, one thing to note, there are no feed lip retainers or caps that come with these. They used to always, Magpul Gen M2s and M3s, I think, used to always come with dust cover. These don't come with them. So a little bit more shrinkflation action going on. I don't know how long the feed lips will stay like this, but I'll keep one of these loaded for a long time and see how it holds up over time. Again, the profile is exactly like the Gen M3, except for this texturing on the sides. Looks like it has the same over insertion tab over here. Uninterrupted texturing on the spines. And it has the Digi ID matrix. I don't normally bother with that because I'm not tactical or anything, but at least to identify, which ones are your training mags and which ones are your mags that you keep loaded. And as far as the springs wearing out, these Lancers have been my range magazines for the last 7 or 8 years. And some of these have gotten a little bit more use than others. And the springs, I think, are getting a little bit weak because I've had instances where either that or the feed lips are starting to spread apart, although these are steel and I don't see any deformation whatsoever. But it's possible that I've gotten some bolt override malfunctions with this because the stack, the full magazine getting jammed up into the gun. Will sometimes pop around out before the bolt goes into battery, and then it's double feeding and getting a bolt up over the charging handle sometimes, and that's attributed only recently to one of these mags, and I still don't know exactly which one it is. But that's where identification of the magazines would come in handy, so that I could just either throw it away or rebuild it. These mags I would probably try to rebuild whenever possible with new springs, but I don't know. I haven't seen a rebuild kit for these. What else? Yeah, these loads are pretty damn good. This is the first time I've done a mass volume loading of M193 on my 1050 with Vitavuri N133 powder. I'm getting very good standard deviation numbers. Depends on how many I test that day. I've gotten between 8 and 9 and sometimes 11 SD across 50 or 60 rounds. These have also given me a pretty good, sometimes sub MOA and sometimes just full MOA on out of the Mark 12 with a Rainier Arms match barrel. It's not even the super match. It's the SPR profile and everything. It's my Mark 12 clone. And I get 3,200 feet per second out of an 18-inch barrel and about 10 SD. I say that's a really good load. The powder also meters really well. It's extruded powder, very fine pelletized powder, and I get 24 grains on the auto trickler and FX120 magnetic force restoration scale balance. I get 24 grains every single time out of this powder drop. So basically I could just go and run through the entire 6,000 rounds and just load them one after the other without having to constantly check the powder levels like some other powders. Previously I used H335. H335 is the old military powder for this. Very flashy and not very temperature sensitive. So I expect that this N133 is going to be fairly temperature stable, especially in the summer where I don't want any pressure spikes or anything because I'm running at pretty much max book load. Now that powder is not suggested for anything heavier than the 55 grain projectiles, and that's fine. I've got other powders for those. What else? I don't know what else anybody cares to see about this. You've seen what it looks like in the gun. People are doing the durability tests on these now, and they're abusing the heck out of them. I only have 10 of them. I'm not made of money, so I'm not gonna purposely destroy them. But I think, being that they're Magpul and it took them 17 years to actually release production translucent magazines, I think means a lot that a company is going to go through the pains of quality control and engineering to make sure that they produce a product that lives can be depended on. I think that's what they're going after, because they've been testing translucent magazines and trying to find a polymer that will actually hold up to situations. So kudos to them. They look great. I hope that they perform really well. They look a little bit like the Heckler & Koch proprietary magazines. It's a look that a lot of people are going for. I happen to like that. I ran a G28 in Afghanistan, and I like the look of those transparent magazines. But there was just nothing really too similar to that, with the exception of, these Lancers, and there's a couple other brands. But you can tell that they're probably a little bit brittle. Although they've gone through their own gamut of testing, I'm not going to say things I'm not familiar with. But these are nice. Let's see how they hold up. I saw that they load fairly easily on a closed bolt on the spear. Maybe let me try it on the LWRC, which, these are empty, of course, but so usually this is administrative reloads on a closed bolt. Sometimes are a little bit tricky, but it's all. This one's a little more difficult than the spear, but it's not bad. What else? I'm not trying to do feature length video or anything like that. But yeah, maybe you want to see content. Otherwise, before I pack all of this stuff up in this room, I'm going to put out a video or two and go from there. If you have any questions, put them on the chat below, and I'll try to answer them. I do read every comment, and I appreciate your patronage to the channel. I have put out all kinds of different videos, and some of them kind of out of the norm for the channel, meaning that I don't really know where I'm going to take the channel as far as the type of content. I started out with reloading or hand loading, and then long range, and I'm still doing that. I intend to. It's just that I don't really get sent anything or any new guns or products of any sort. Everything that I do is stuff that I buy for myself. And this year, I'm not going to buy anything else. So if you see videos from me, they're going to have and feature the weapons that I've shown before, and may not be of any interest other than the fact that I'm trying to get better at certain types of shooting, basically the dynamic type of shooting with pistol and carbine, and moving around and trying to get a little bit in better shape to do that. The rest is going to be things that I might want to see myself on a video that I haven't seen before. Maybe product reviews on very specific hand loading techniques, or maybe just shooting the same old guns over and over again at long range and trying to get better. I do hope that at some point, I can go on PRS tour or PRS match and shoot some of these things competitively. But I've got a long ways to go till I can do that. Until then, I do appreciate your support, just simply by subscribing or commenting, and even just liking or disliking the videos. I don't get paid for any of this. I'm not intending on monetizing via YouTube AdSense or anything like that. I think that might give me a little bit more freedom and be out of the sort of purview of their content, YouTube's content moderation teams, where they at random delete channels and videos because they don't like certain content. I will try to abide by all their content guidelines. I mean, I'm never going to show you anything that's supposedly dangerous or harmful to others or anything like that. It's just that YouTube doesn't like you showing things about guns and how to specifically do things. I think even loading a magazine is considered against community guidelines. So I got to read up on it and just make sure I don't sort of cross any obvious lines. But because I'm not monetized, and I hope you're not seeing any ads, because I can't stand ads, let me know in the comments. And but hopefully I stay out of the limelight and stay down low and low key to any of sort of purview. So again, thank you, and I will see you all again soon. Till then, take care. Bye.